I think most people would agree that Western democracy is in a terrible mess. Economies in ruins, politicians incompetent and untrustworthy, workers on strike, small businesses failing, our educational and cultural institutions dominated by militant hard-left lunatics, free speech no longer free, as people who dare to speak the truth in a dishonest, corrupt world paid a price for it with their livelihoods. How have we got into this state? Well, what's changed over the last decade or so is that social media has given young people a very loud voice in the political debate. People in their teens and 20s with a greater mastery over technology than their elders who grew up with only dial-up internet and flip phones have used that superior understanding to aggressively push what they imagine to be a progressive political agenda. Unfortunately, while these millennials and Generation Z young people mastered technology, they've yet to master the art of critical thinking. They're deeply limited by the fact that their only real life experience is of school and university and the leftist indoctrination they've received within that sheltered, although somewhat toxic, bubble. They've yet to experience the rigours of professional life and the pressure of meeting mortgage payments and energy bills and putting food on the table for their own children. They know nothing about life because they haven't had the opportunity to live it, and they have no capacity for critical thinking as they haven't yet witnessed the conflict and contradiction between life in the real world and what they've been taught at school. And yet they have played a seismic role in the political landscape over the past decade through having this disproportionately influential voice on social media. And from the age of 18, they've been allowed to vote. In an age where people have been infantilized and men in their 20s and even 30s can be found watching Marvel films about superheroes and playing video games, 18-year-olds can barely be trusted to tie their own shoelaces, let alone have a say in who governs the country. And yet their say is a significant one. And consequently, we've seen catastrophic decisions in the handling of the COVID pandemic, in reaction to the Ukraine war. We've seen businesses damaged by an obsession with EDI politics. We've seen our public services collapse as younger generations have no stomach for doing an honest day's work anymore and just want some sort of cheat code, fast track, effortless journey to wealth, comfort and a privileged lifestyle. Young people simply don't grow up as quickly as they did in the 70s and 80s because they've been wrapped in cotton wool, showered with praise and affirmation and raised in an every child must have prizes culture. It takes those children well into their 30s to undo the damage done to them by this faux liberal upbringing. And while they're figuring things out and piecing themselves back together, we really can't have them voting on who runs the real world that the rest of us are trying to function in. Time to raise the voting age to 30, because these days, sadly, no one seems to hit adulthood until then. Please do like and subscribe and support my content by following the links below this video. Also, please do check out my return to stand-up, now available to view on the Comedy Unleashed YouTube channel, a link for which you can also find beneath this video.